Dear students, let us continue the second part of the story. So, in the second part of the story, what do we find? We find that the generous old man, he dreamt once again, and the spirit of God appeared in his dream. Not long after that, the good old man dreamt again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the meal made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the meal, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. So here, what did the generous old man dream? And what did the spirit of the dog inform him? The spirit of the dog informed him about how the meal had been burned. And he then asked him to take the ashes of it on the trees, withering to make them bloom again. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace, in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze from some bits of the meal, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. Now the old man went to his neighbor's house and found them sitting before the fireplace, burning the logs of the meal. And the old man wanted to collect some ashes of that logs of wood. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. So the old man, he was resentfully allowed to take away a bucket full of ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. He went off to his withered dressy tree and sprinkled ashes. The fragrance of that freshly enlivened blossoms reached the village. Now the covetous couple also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the meal, kept them to make withered trees blossom. So now the wicked couple, they were also trying to make the withered trees blossom. They gathered the remaining ashes of the meal and tried to make withered trees blossom. Now the kind old man, hearing that his lord the daimyo was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him, taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. Now the old woman climbed up an old withered cherry tree when he learned that daimyo was arriving. Now in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper, so as not to commit the impertinence, means disobedience, of looking down on his lordship. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. Now, it was the custom and tradition during that time. The villagers set out to bow down before the king until the procession passed by. The train drew near. One tall, competent man marched ahead, crying out to the people, by the way, get down on your knees, get down on your knees, and everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. Now suddenly the leader of the van caught sight of the aged man up in the tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing he was such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So when the daimyo's palanquin drew near, the old man taking a pinch of ashes from his basket, scattered it over the tree. In a moment, it burst into blossom. So, as the daimyo's palanquin drew near, the old man sprinkled his ashes. Immediately, the tree burst into blossom. Now, the delighted daimyo ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cakes, fans, and other rewards to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. Now, daimyo was very much delighted. He stopped and called the old man to him. He thanked him, gave him many gifts, and invited him to his castle. Now, so the old man went gleefully, happily home to share his joy with his dear old wife. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. There he waited until a daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. When the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. The wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the daimyo and his wife, such sneezing and choking. It spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. The man whose business it was to cry, "Get down on your knees," seized the old fool by the collar, dragged him from the tree, and tumbled him and his ass basket into the ditch by the road. Then, beating him soundly, he felled him for death. So, the greedy neighbor, what did he do again? He heard of the story about the blossoming of that cherry tree. He did exactly what the good old man had done. However, no flowers were there. The wind blew and the ashes entered the noses and eyes of the daimyo and his wife. Daimyo was very furious. Daimyo called him, and the wicked man was beaten to death. Thus, the wicked old man died in the mud, but the kind friend of the dog dwelt in peace and plenty, and both he and his wife lived to a green old age. So, the wicked old man, he was died in the mud, and the kind friend of the dog, he dwelt in peace and plenty. He and his wife lived happily to a green old age. So, here the second part of the story ends. Dear children, I am sharing you the animated video of the story. All of you must see this video. That's all for today. Thank you.